Hey guys, Alex Khan here from Prince of Macedon Vlogs, and for this video, I'm just going to talk about my experience at Howl-O-Scream on opening night a few days ago. If you want to watch my actual Howl-O-Scream event video, check out the link in the description so you can watch that video. But when I'm at a theme park or at an event, I don't really have time to talk about everything I want to, just because I like to keep my event and theme park vlogs shorter. But for this video where I'm just talking, you already know what you're coming for. I'm just gonna talk about it. So let's put everything I thought about in this video. And just a little heads up, I'll probably be going back to Howl-O-Scream next weekend because Busch Gardens they did grant me some media access for next weekend. But anyways, I have never been to Howl-O-Scream until this weekend. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The biggest reason why I went to Howl-O-Scream this year is because in my previous years living in Orlando, Halloween Horror Nights was the nearest venue for a Halloween event. But since they're not really having a Halloween Horror Nights this year, I decided that Tampa, which is about 2 hours away, wasn't too far for me to experience Halloween. So I drove all the way to Tampa, and I had a really good time. But I'll elaborate on that in a bit. First, I want to show off the merchandise I got from Howl-O-Scream because I'm really huge into getting merchandise from these events, especially Halloween. So I'm gonna start with these two items here. For my mask, when I went to Howl-O-Scream, I only had my SeaWorld Orca mask, and they are ran by the same people, Busch Gardens and SeaWorld. But when I got to Busch Gardens, I picked up this Howl-O-Scream mask. It's pretty cool. Look at this. It's like I got this skull, and I look really sinister. Now, just one comment. The inside of the mask, it's kind of fuzzy, so it's got a weird feel to your mouth. But after a few minutes, I got used to it. I just like the way it looks, to be honest. And the other thing I got, I'll talk about this in a second. But the other thing I got that's out in the open right now is this Fiends shirt. If you guys don't know what Fiends is, it's Howl-O-Scream's equivalent of the Bill and Ted show that used to play at Halloween Horror Nights. So it's this really raunchy, this raunchy show on stage. In between each dance numbers, they have a lot of skits taking place, and the host of Fiends are Dr. Frankenstein and Igor. But again, I'm going to elaborate on that later. I want to show the merchandise here. So I got this in medium because I don't know if it's going to sell out. I don't know how big Howl-O-Scream merchandise gets, so I grabbed it immediately. This shirt was $25.99. Very cool shirt, and for people who go to Howl-O-Scream, they should instantly recognize what Fiends is. If you look from a distance, it looks like it's Friends, the TV show, but it's Fiends. All right, now I'm going to show you the rest of the merchandise I got. And here's a little bag I got. Not a very memorable bag. It's just SeaWorld Parks and Entertainment. They're the ones who own SeaWorld and Busch Gardens. So let's start with this shirt. This shirt is epic. This is the one that I came for. So on the front, this is a medium, by the way. So on the front, it says Busch Gardens Howl-O-Scream 2020. And you can see the inside. It says medium, Howl-O-Scream, and on the back, this is where it's really cool. It's got all the scare zones listed on it, and there are 10 scare zones this year for Howl-O-Scream. But yeah, it lists the 4 new scare zones plus the 6 other staple scare zones. And on the very bottom, it says the fear is in your eyes. And I did make a different video where I actually interviewed John Prast, who was the show director of Howl-O-Scream, and he explained what that meant. The fear is in your eyes. But this is a really cool shirt, and the girl at the cashier register said that this shirt will probably sell out. So I grabbed it opening night in the event that it does sell out, because I know at Halloween Horror Nights some of those shirts do sell out. All right, let me show you what else is in my bag. I'll call this video "What's in My Bag." No, I'm not. Because I spent over $30 in the store, I got a free mask, and I picked this one that it's a pumpkin, like a jack-o'-lantern face, but it's scary. So this is another Howl-O-Scream mask, and it's pretty cool. And I got the adult size because I have a really big mouth. And finally, I got this limited edition pin, and it's got one of the Scare Zone characters in it, which I met him in the Scare Zone. I got a picture with him. It was a socially distanced picture. So that's the merchandise I got from Howl-O-Scream. Very happy with my purchases. When I go back next weekend, I'm probably gonna get this long sleeve T-shirt. It glows in the dark, and it says "The fear is in your eyes," and it's got these it's got these bones on the sides too. So at nighttime, it should look cool when it's lit up. But yeah, I want to talk about my experience at Howl-O-Scream opening night. So they let us come in at 5 p.m., but the Howl-O-Scream event didn't start until 7 p.m. But I think it's a good idea to let us into the park early so that we can get in position and we don't have to waste time taking a tram, going through the security and ticketing line. I like to be ready to go once the event starts, because the event was only from 7 till 12, only 5 hours. So I definitely needed that extra 2 hours coming in. Now here's something that you need to know, which I did not know. When I bought my tickets online for Howl-O-Scream, I picked Friday opening night, and what I didn't know is you needed a reservation to go with your ticket, which I didn't read that when I was buying my ticket. So I came all the way to Tampa. I showed him my ticket, and then the guy was like, "You get your reservation?" And I was really under the impression that buying my ticket would have counted as a reservation, but apparently it's not. So in addition to buying your ticket, you also have to make a reservation online, or I don't know how you do it. But I know Seaworld, you go to the website. But yeah, so that's something that you need to know. If you're not familiar with Busch Gardens or Seaworld, you need a reservation in addition to your ticket. So next time I go, I'm gonna have a reservation. So that's the first thing that you need to know. Now, this is a really cool event because in most theme parks with the pandemic hours, they usually close before night falls. But this event, it went from 7 till 12, so it was cool to be in a theme park when it got really dark, because that's the way I picture Halloween. I picture it being really, really dark, and it's just a really cool it's a really cool feeling because you're not in the sun anymore. And then most people associate Halloween with darkness, so that's the way I pictured a Halloween event. So here's something else you need to know, and they advertise this all the time. There are no houses for Howl-O-Scream this year. I know I've never been, but I already knew that they used to have houses. But for this year, because of social distancing, Busch Gardens decided to put on their show without the houses. And I have to commend Busch Gardens for doing this, because even though there's no houses, at least there's a Halloween event. Because as you guys know, Universal Studios did not host a Halloween Horror Nights this year. Even though they have some houses open, it's still not Halloween Horror Nights. So I think this is really cool for people who want to get that Halloween vibe. Busch Gardens is definitely the way to go. Because for me, half of what Halloween Horror Nights was being in the scare zones and hearing all the loud atmospheric music. And Busch Gardens did exactly that. They had 10 scare zones, and they were all pretty awesome. The characters in these scare zones were very active. Like in some of those areas, like the junkyard, it felt like a house. It just happened to be outdoor, and it was really cool seeing all these characters, trying to surprise you. But of course, they had to be socially distanced too, so that's kind of a challenge. I myself, I'm never scared of these these Halloween events, because it's all just acting. But I go there because it's fun, and I want to feel like it's fall. I want to feel like it's Halloween. So what else am I talking about? Yeah, I loved all the scare zones, and for me, because it was my first time being there, every scare zone was new to me. I especially liked the Hell on Wheels. Is that what it's called? I think it's called Hell on Wheels. It's kind of like this post-apocalyptic Mad Max style scare zone, and that was a really cool area. It was very well lit. I loved the music in that scare zone, and I liked seeing all the people on bicycles because they look like they're motorcycles, but they're really just bicycles, obviously. And then I like seeing all the post-apocalyptic cars on display. They're all like they're rusted out. They're all armored up, and it just really completes that feel for a post-apocalyptic area. But all the scare zones were really well done. My favorite in particular was the shortcut. I like the variety of characters out there, and they had some really cool ideas in there. I'm not gonna ruin it for you. I want you guys to go there. I got to say this though, finding the entrance to the shortcut was pretty hard on opening night because when I first got there, everybody was taking this one path, but when I went back a second time, they told us to go around, and when they told us to go around, I had no idea what they meant. So I ended up being in the Lycan Landing, and that was clearly not the shortcut. So the guy at Lycan Landing, he walked me back to the shortcut, and he showed me what the path was. Because on opening night, there wasn't a sign there that says this is the entrance to shortcut. It was kind of confusing, but I think when you guys go, it's going to be fixed by then. It's just on opening night, they're still working out their kinks. But I did have some issues with Howl-O-Scream. I guess the first issue was the reservation system. I feel like if you bought a ticket, surely that should have counted as a reservation, because would they actually sell more Howl-O-Scream tickets than they could? Like, what happened if I bought a Howl-O-Scream ticket and there weren't any more slots open for reservations? That would mean I bought this ticket, I drove 2 hours away, and I couldn't get into Howl-O-Scream. That would have really sucked. So that was my first issue. I feel like if you buy a ticket, that should count as a reservation. But in their eyes, you need a reservation plus a ticket. So that's kind of crazy. Another issue I had, it's not really a big issue, but I'm not really familiar with Busch Gardens layout. And when I looked at their map, I had a hard time navigating. Like, even looking at a map, I was still getting lost at Busch Gardens. And for an event like Howl-O-Scream, I wish they had signs pointing where the scare zones were. Because I know, Halloween Horror Nights had signs everywhere pointing to the directions of the houses. I think because there's only scare zones for Howl-O-Scream, that should have been easy to implement. Because, again, looking at the map was one thing, but actually walking the path and knowing where I was a completely other thing. Because there were some parts where I was walking the right way, but it didn't look like I was going the right way. Like some places at Busch Gardens looked like a dead end, but apparently if I just kept walking, that would have taken me to the next region. So yeah, I definitely think they should put signs for where the scare zones are, because that would have been very helpful for me, who doesn't really know my way around Busch Gardens. And another thing I had some issues with, I'm really big into like event food. So like at Halloween Horror Nights, I was really big into their Starcourt food mall section, which was a themed area based on Stranger Things, and that was clearly shown on a map. I knew how to get there, but for Howl-O-Scream, I feel like a lot of their food tents that were made specifically for Howl-O-Scream, they were not clearly listed on the map, because on the map it just has like I think it's a it's a spoon and fork symbol, I think, but it doesn't say what it is on the map. It just says food, or it just has the spoon and fork. But a lot of those indicators on the map, it was only for drinking tents. I was looking for food specifically, so I actually didn't find the food tent until it was already closed. Like, it was way before midnight, but by the time I got there, they're only serving drinks. And then all the other symbols on the map that I found, they were only for drinking. So I was a little disappointed in that. Because, again, I am a big foodie, and I would have loved trying some Howl-O-Scream food. So next weekend when I go, I'm going to go specifically to the Howl-O-Scream food locations. I think those were my biggest issues, but everything that I loved about Howl-O-Scream, it definitely outweighed the negatives that I could think of. Like, I loved the whole vibe of Howl-O-Scream because it was really dark. Well, eventually got really dark and had the big atmosphere of music. They had like a light show projected onto the entrance when you come in. They had like zombies crawling. They had this demon roaming around. All the scare zones were fantastic, all 10 of them, and that's a lot of scare zones, mind you. Even though there's no houses, I already knew that beforehand, so I wasn't disappointed in that. I was really happy with just seeing the houses, and I gotta say, my biggest the thing I liked the most at Howl-O-Scream was the Fiend show, because I'm a guy, I loved the Bill and Ted show at Halloween Horror Nights, which is no longer there. So when I watched this show, I got a lot of that Bill and Ted vibe from it. It was really raunchy. A lot of it was inappropriate. I like seeing all the dancing, and it was just really funny because they take some themes from current events, like the pandemic, and they joke about it. And if you don't know what you're getting into, there are signs outside that says there's some raunchy material, there's some scantily clad performers, so you really can't complain if you go into that show because there are signs there that says what it is, and yeah, it's very raunchy, and I would say it's definitely not appropriate for kids. But I did see some kids there, so I hope the parents knew what they were getting their kids into. Because a lot of that was very, very raunchy, and for Halloween, I enjoy that kind of stuff. So I love that show. When I went on opening night, they had two show times. They had an 8:30 show and a 10 p.m. show, which I don't know if those show times are going to change any as the event proceeds. I don't know. Um, and also this year, they moved the show to a bigger stadium, and it's by one of these beer areas. So for me, it was all new, but for people who are returning Howl-O-Scream fans, yeah, they did move it to a bigger location just because of social distancing. They need a lot more space to accommodate bigger crowds. I got there about 30 minutes early, and I was able to find a pretty decent seat. But I think next time I might watch both shows because I really liked it quite a bit. So trying to think, I really enjoyed it. Oh, something else I didn't point out: the crowds. Apparently, it was really busy, but it didn't look really busy to me because I'm a guy who goes to Disney World a lot. I also go to Universal Studios a lot. So all the scare zones, they were pretty empty. The only line that I saw was for the junkyard, and that line to get into the junkyard, it wasn't really that long. It was like a 5-10 minute line, so it wasn't bad at all. I think most of the people were actually riding the roller coasters. I'm not really big into roller coasters, so I didn't really care for that aspect. When I came to Howl-O-Scream, I wanted to focus solely on the Howl-O-Scream events. So I skipped all the roller coasters. The person I went with was big into roller coasters, so I kind of felt bad. Now, I did see Cheetah. I probably would have ridden Cheetah because that would have been cool to see at nighttime. But I saw it, streaking past one of their fields, and it looked really cool. It was pitch black. But when we did pass the Cheetah Ride, it was a 60-minute wait, so that was kind of long. I think towards the end of the night, it was about 15 minutes long. But we wanted to go back to the Lycan Landing and the shortcut, so we picked those scare zones over riding a ride because I feel like you can ride those rides anytime you want. I guess the novelty is riding the roller coasters at nighttime, which I guess you don't typically get to do. I don't really know. So I really had an amazing time at Howl-O-Scream, and I will be going next weekend because Busch Gardens invited me back. For the first weekend, I bought my own ticket because I wanted to go on opening night, and I just wanted to experience it. So yeah, next weekend I will be there to check it out, and I'm pretty excited for it. But I want to know what you guys think. Um, Again, if you don't know what this event is, just check on the link in my video description so you can watch what I saw, and you can form your own opinion on what the event's like. But in my video, I only showed the four new scare zones. I didn't really film the other scare zones really, and I did show highlights of the Fiend show. But But for a lot of you people who are, Busch Garden regulars, or if you are Howl-O-Scream regulars, I want to know what you guys thought of this event, because I feel like a lot of people were surprised that there were no houses this year, but I thought that was pretty well advertised that they weren't going to have any houses. But what are your thoughts on this event? And if you plan to go, what are you expecting from Howl-O-Scream? So I think that's really all I wanted to talk about. What merchandise are you guys looking for? And what did you think of the merchandise I got? I'm very happy with what I got. That's all I want to talk about. And I do want to apologize for mentioning Halloween Horror Nights, but I felt like it was pertinent to talk about, because when you talk about Howl-O-Scream, if you talk about a big Halloween event in Florida, it's hard not to talk about Halloween Horror Nights. And the fact that they're canceled, I feel like a lot of people are going to be going to Busch Gardens to fill that vacuum. So that's the reason why I mentioned it. I wanted to avoid talking about it, but I couldn't I couldn't avoid it. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching.